Welcome to this video. Yeah, this looks a bit different here. The time. Yeah, this is a new rating pool that ICC has introduced. And they always had some rapid time controls. They had 15 minute, which is what I posted quite a bit on my channel. It is 15 minute without increment though. And the only increment-based longer time control that they had was 45 minutes with 45 seconds increment, which is really, really long. And it turns out that ICC has gotten rid of that and replaced it with a new time control, which is 25 minutes base time and 10-second increment. This is actually the official FIDE rapid time control. So if you watch, let's say, Magnus Carlsen play in the official FIDE Rapid World Championship, he would play with that time control. And this is a brand new pool. So it's like introduced, I think it's on since today or maybe yesterday. So people simply don't have an established rating yet. So I'm starting with 1600. My opponent starts with 1600. So let's see what my opponent has in other rating pools. Okay, it's got 13 something, 1315 minute. So it's not very high rated. It's a kind of a mismatch, but the thing is we have to get going in that pool. So it's nothing that you can do. So an interesting moment. I can actually take on g6 now. Yeah, takes, pawn takes, queen g6 check, king h8, queen h6 check. He has to go back to g8. It doesn't look great for him. But what I do lack is I lack more attacking pieces. Yeah, I think I rather develop a little bit more, maybe knight e5 coming. Yeah, and what am I going to do with that pool? Currently, as I said, the ratings are somewhat unestablished, but it will get we get the typical situation with the ratings getting somewhat adjusted to the actual playing strength and so on. And I intend to play in that pool fairly regularly. Because I think that this is really a very good time control. The games at the utmost would last a little bit more than an hour. I know that's long, but it is it's going to be really high quality, especially due to the increment. With the increment, you can be sure that you're actually able to win the one positions and can draw the total draws. There's nothing more, at least here in online chess, annoying than playing a 15-minute game without increment and then you have some joker win rook against against you. This is like wasting 30 minutes of your time. It's just, I hate it. So I'm really glad that they got to introduce that increment rating pool. Yeah, at the beginning we will have some mismatches like this game on paper, but okay, it's a matter of time until this adjusts, and I think it will be a pool that is welcomed by many people who want to play somewhat more serious chess, let's say, but they were kind of afraid that 45 is simply too long. It is really a long time. I think I played 1 or 2 games with that time control, and that's really long. 45-minute base time plus a huge increment. Okay, so what happens here? He went with g5 to get rid of that pin. A decision that I do understand. The pin was very annoying, but g5 has weakened his position quite a bit. The question is how to make use of it. Yeah, I think I want to go h4. After h4, he probably, he's basically committed to the move g4. No. That is surprising. Well, he's basically blundering g5, huh? He's got knight b4, but that really is no big deal. So I can take here first and then take on g5. Yeah, the h file will be opened up now. Knight b4 is just a minor nuisance. You can go to e2, for example. He can take it, but whatever. It's not really hurting me very much. And the h file, the h file is wide open. If he recaptures, which is likely, I'm not quite sure what else he could play. Yeah, he took a move that looks maybe attractive on the surface is the move bishop to h7, giving a check. If black takes it, it's queen h7 mate. But he has king g7, and it's not quite clear what that check has accomplished. It's just one check, and after that you ask yourself if you really gained anything much from it. So bishop h7, I'm not too
Black
thrilled about.
Resigns.
Okay, he just resigned the game. Yeah, that is kind of an unlucky thing. I would have liked to show the whole game, but maybe he was a bit frustrated that he got such a. Yeah, he also got a little bit of a mismatch here. Yeah. Okay. So what am I going to do here? Let's check how it could have continued. And this video also was meant to introduce that I'm going to play that rating pool and so on. So I won't delete it, even though the pure chess content isn't that great. So what is it that I would have played? I think I would have played knight g5 here, simply taking that pawn. And yeah, now I'm actually threatening bishop h7. If he does something like that,
check.
I can go here, and then I can take.
Check.
And here.
Check. Check. Checkmate.
We'll get a mate. So he has to react somehow to the bishop h7 idea. And well, rook e8, I don't know. Or king g7. There's no real attractive possibility. Yeah, and here I can just castle long. That's one possibility. Or I can also invest one move to just get rid of that knight b4 idea and continue from there. A good way to play here is just long castles, or maybe even f3, king f2, rook h4, this kind of thing, pile up on the h file. It's a pawn and it's a huge position. So it wasn't really a very premature resignation for him. Okay, it's a bit early, but it's really a completely winning position for the white player. What I can do is I can try to get an additional or a second game. Let's try that. The rating pool is very narrow at the moment. There are very few people entering it, simply because ICC has introduced it sort of without telling anybody. They, as I learned, intend to publish that, I think, tomorrow or the day after that. So
game
people
started.
Oh yeah, here I get a game against Fearless One. Who's that? Let's check. So a bit higher rated. 15-minute rating is 1900. So okay, let's see what we get here. I'm going to go e5. I want to play, or I want to really at one point learn that c4 e5. I think it's a good idea to have that in your repertoire. So let's see. Well, I have not yet studied it, but I plan to. Yeah, this move order is quite interesting. white has two options. He can start with knight f3, knight c6, then g3, or he can play that immediately. That has a couple of advantages, g3. For example, if black goes bishop b4, then white has some additional ideas with a later e4, for example, and then knight to e2. Keeping the knight flexible makes some sense. One drawback, however, is that after c6, if he goes with d4, which is the normal kind of way to proceed, then after takes, queen takes, d5, cd5, cd5, knight c6 is going to win a tempo on the queen, and after it moves, d4 hits the knight. The combination of the queen on d4 and the knight on c3 is a bit unfortunate, as c5, d4, those kind of tempo gainers can be tricky, all in case if he goes d4. One point is here that if white goes bishop g2, then d5 is already pretty promising for black. Yeah, we get that. So I'm going to go d5 now. The move played on the top level instead of bishop g2 nowadays is knight f3. This was, for example, played in a very similar position by Vichy Arnott against Michael Adams in a recent event. I think it was the Shamkir tournament, the Gashimov Memorial. The big point is queen b3 now looks excellent for white. It looks like it wins material, and it does, but it's not very good. Okay, it's not playing that. Queen b3, I go knight c6 and sacrifice the big center pawn. Okay, here I can take. Queen takes, I guess. And then knight c6. And we see one point that I mentioned, why the combination of an early d4 and the knight on c3 can be tricky. I have the opportunity to push d4 with a tempo on the knight, d5 to d4 after the queen is moved. Yeah, it probably will go to, I guess, to a4. After that, I can already play d4. Yeah, maybe he's contemplating queen d1, so that after d4 he can go knight e4. d4, knight e4, knight takes e4, bishop e4, bishop b4 check, bishop d2 is a convenient way to play for white, relatively. After queen a4, yeah, this is an interesting moment. d4 or not. d4, knight e4, knight takes e4, bishop b4 check. And then let's say king f1. Yeah, if he plays bishop d2, I'm glad. But if he goes king to f1, I wonder how good that is, because my bishop then on b4 is indirectly hanging, and he's attacking my knight there on c6. Of course, he has lost the castling rights, but he's pretty close to playing king to g2 then. I'm not sure how bad that really is. I wonder if I should play that differently. I should invest a move before I go for that. d4, knight d4 takes, bishop b4 check isn't entirely clear. Bishop e6 might be a good prep move. d4, knight e4. I can also check first on b4. That's interesting. Bishop d2. Bishop d2, knight d2 is okay for him. Okay, I'm going to start with that move. One point is that d4, knight e4 check. I have bishop d5 as an additional idea. And I don't see a particularly great move for him now. If he goes knight f3, I think d4 can be played. Knight f3, d4, knight d4, queen d4, bishop c6 check. That's unfortunate. So I cannot play d4. Means that knight f3 is probably a very okay move. Yeah, he should go knight f3 then. Pretty clearly the best move, I guess. Otherwise d4 is really hitting. The fearless one. Knight f3, d4, knight d4. Yeah, that's a neat little tactic. Yeah, I wonder, what is he considering? Bishop g5 maybe. Yeah, that could be... It's a possible alternative. Not sure how good that is, but it's something that might be okay. I still think that d4 after that is probably good. Knight f3, however, looks completely normal. What am I going to do after that, actually? That's an interesting question. Bishop c5. Some active move like that. Tja, d4 is simply not possible. It's kind of curious. I really wonder. Yeah, I gained 120 rating points in the first game. Yeah, it's at provisional rating. Yeah, I wonder. I mean, is that such a big decision? It's not disconnected, is he? Oh. I have some pinging problems. Huh. Might be a connection problem.
White forfeits due to disconnection.
What kind of nonsense is that? Now I get a disconnect. Oh Christ! What's that? This is under some unlucky star here or what? Tja, I don't know. Should I try yet another game? Wow. Well, okay. I mean, he had to go here probably. And yeah, I cannot do this because of knight d4. Queen d4, bishop c6
Check.
loses the queen. But something like that is a pretty conventional IQP position. Probably something between slight edge for white and equal. I think I'm pretty active here, so I think I don't really have much to worry about. Okay, so maybe let's try for a real game. Third one. It's unlucky. I'm still posting that. It feels kind of silly to have invested like almost 20 minutes there and then not upload the whole thing. Yeah, it takes a while. That is the smallest pool at the moment, of course. Nobody knows about it. I really wonder how the other guys... I mean, it was announced that they wanted to introduce it, but there was no particular date mentioned. And I only learned of it by asking my my contact person there at ICC, who is busy with producing videos and so on, and he told me, yeah, it is active, you can try it out, but it's not... I did not really know that this is the case. yeah, I'm trying for another game, but I cannot wait very, very long. It's really late already here, and I had planned like, okay, maximum 1 hour for that video, but if a new game now starts and it actually lasts longer, then yeah, it's tricky. Okay, come on, I'm going to wrap that up. I'm sorry for those kind of uncompleted games. It's a bit of a shame, but let's I cannot really label this as rapid game number this and that, but let's just take it as an introduction to that new time control that allows for somewhat more extensive, more detailed commentary, and also allows with that 10-second increment for higher quality games, I guess. Yeah, thanks for watching, and you're welcome to post your comments on the idea to post more videos with that time control. Of course, it's a bit unlucky what happened here, but okay, it's not going to happen in the future. Okay, well, thanks for watching.